Always good, Lee, to have you on. First thing I want to start with is your work with the UFC. Every country has fighters working, on TV, commentating. How has your work been, and how has it impacted you?
每一个国家都有就是给国家解说的、给 UFC 工作的人员。那你认为你的解说对你来说产生什么影响？你说啥？你的解说对你产生什么影响？
我觉得这个会更影响，就是让我通过我去解说我的这个从专业的角度上来说，让更多的粉丝们知道这个了解这项运动，不是单纯的那么打几个项目，说的更细一些。喜欢这项运动的人也好，还是不了解这项运动的人也好，通过我的这个来解说，让他更加的对这项运动的认识。
Because I'm a pro fighter and I like to use the commentating to let the fans know that MMA isn't just about fighting, and I like to technically and specifically demonstrate the beauty of the sport.
All right. Do you see a future on TV? Like you see guys like Paul Felder, Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping on the American side. What about in China? Do you see yourself? You have a face for TV. Come on.
你认为你会是中国角度的这个角色吗？
我也希望努力往这方面做。现在主要还在比赛。
Yeah, I will work hard to make it to this point. But right now, I'm focusing on my fight.
Okay. So your fight, you return at UFC Long Island. You're facing Muslim Salikhov. He's known as a striker, but what else do you see in him?
对于穆斯林姆，除了是一个战力手，对他还有什么别的了解？
他也是个桑博也不错，摔柔也可以。对啊。
I know he's also a sambo fighter, and his grappling is not bad.
Are you a fighter that usually says no or never says no when a matchup is offered by the UFC?
你从来不拒绝任何比赛吗？
我觉得也没有必要去拒绝的。我们都是个战士，都是个斗士，对吧？
Yeah, we're all warriors. I don't have the necessary to say no.
All right, as a veteran of the game, as a veteran of the sport, what advice can you give young fighters? Is that something that you would tell young fighters? Is that if you're the best, you never say no to a fight?
你是一个老将了，那你给年轻选手有什么建议没有？
给别人机会也是给自己机会嘛，所以说，给年轻人就是我觉得不用考虑那么多，就是勇往直前。现在就是多打比赛，这样才有机会，才能有让自己的经验更加丰富。这样子才离自己的目标更近。
Yeah, I think for the young fighters, you don't have to consider all that. You just go forward and get more experiences, so you get closer to your goal. And you give other opportunities also, like we're giving you the opportunity. So
Salikhov, he's on a 5-fight winning streak at the moment. He hasn't faced the same level of competition as you, but have you been impressed by his performances?
就穆斯林姆现在5连胜，但他没有打过像你一个这样的对手。你对此就是感到印象深刻吗？他的这个连胜？
深刻，包括他前面也跟我的那个打过的选手也打过，对，表现都不错。对，一贯的作风是站立打击技，对啊，我觉得我的风格也站立打击，所以这场比赛能把我们配在一起，我觉得也是非常精彩一点。
Yes, Muslim, his striker very impressive, and he's fought who I have fought before, and he did pretty well. And he's a striker, me too. So it's gonna be a very interesting fight.
Salikhov, he's trained and competed in China for many years. When did you start hearing about him?
他在中国有很多的这个比赛经验。你是什么时候开始听说他的？
我很早就听说了，很早。他在散打界在中国非常有名，而且 KO 过很多中国的散打名将。对。
Yeah, he's been in the China Sanda for a long time, and he knocked out many good names. So I have heard his name long ago.
对，应该是在08年、09年、10年那时候。
Yeah, around like 2008, 9, 10, around that time, I know him.
What did you hear about him throughout the years?
那这么多年，对于他都听说什么了？
这么多年什么意思？
就是不是很久就知道他了吗？都对，
就是他在散打界很厉害。
Yeah, he's good. Basically, he's good in 散打。
和中国很多散打高手打过比赛，都赢了。
Yeah, he fought and he won so many big names in 散打。
Did you ever run into him in the past?
你们有遇过吗
我们在那个拉斯维加斯一起训练过。
？Yes,
之前
yes.
他也在中国训练了很长时间，在一个恩伯格六他们训练过，一起训练过。
Yeah, he used to
我跟他
train.
没有在恩伯格训练过，我们在那个拉斯维加斯一起训练过。
He used to train in China Enbo, and we used to train together in Vegas in Randy Couture's gym.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember seeing that. How were some of those training sessions with Muslim?
一块去训练，感觉怎么样？
很好，感觉都不错，非常好。
Yeah, I feel great training with him.
All right. All right. So your last fight, around 7 months ago, against Hamza Chimaev. After that fight, where was your mind at? What was your mentality moving forward?
你上次比赛打齐马耶夫结束之后，你的心态有什么变化？
没有什么变化，我觉得上场比赛还是有节奏上还是没有掌握好，有点着急的，我觉得稍微还是开局有点着急，这个气氛都是同时都感染我的，我觉得这就是比赛，这就是战术，每次比赛无论是输赢，从中都能吸取经验，这是最重要的。
Speak for the mindset. There wasn't a big difference after the fight, and the last fight, in the beginning, I didn't get the pace. I was a little rushed into the fight, and this is fight. You can never predict it, and you can learn from all the experiences.
Were you overwhelmed by the moment? Was the moment really big?
就是上次比赛场面很壮大，你感觉怎么样？场面很壮大。
上次
是哪一部？
我们在阿布扎比那次，我觉得很好，有观众呀，非常好。对，这次也会有观众，这次比上次观众还多。对。
Yeah, I love the
更壮大。
I love the fight last time because there was audience, but this time in Long Island, there maybe gonna be more audience, so I'm more happy with it.
You decided to go down to Southern Florida to train for this fight. Why did you decide to go to Sanford? What is the connection there?
为什么选Sanford？
这边的级别人多一点，我觉得级别人多一点，这样交流的基础会更多。
Yeah, there are a lot of good welterweights here, and we can communicate and learn from each other.
Is it difficult to train now in China? Is that why you went to Sanford, or is it just because the fight is in the States and the welterweights are there?
中国现在不好训练。
没有，中国现在好训练，对啊，没有不好训练。
Yeah. Right now China is possible to train, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. Many fighters, they don't want to leave their country to train because it's unfamiliar territory. How important is it to leave your comfort zone as a fighter?
就是很多选手觉得出国是一个突破自己舒适区的一件事。那对你来说，你怎么看这个？
我觉得，每个人都舒适区，在哪都可以舒适区，这是最重要的，就看你怎么去想这个问题。每个人都想待在自己家里舒适，要怎么去工作，对不对？怎么去比赛，对吧？你想要更好的生活，不就得好好去努力的去工作吗？对吧？比赛好了，工作好了，回家才会有更好的生活，才能给将来带来更好的生活。我觉得是这样子。
Yeah, so basically, everyone have their own comfort zone. Like for most guys, you can whether staying home is also your comfort zone. But for me, working harder and getting more good results, bring better life to my family, and that's my better goal. To work harder.
Do you take anything with you whenever you leave China to kind of have something that is familiar to home?
你从中国带来什么了？来美国的时候，就从中国带过来什么了？
没带什么，就带着训练东西啊。这边什么都可以买到。
I didn't bring anything special because I can buy anything. I'm available to buy anything here. So I just bought training gears and that's it.
All right. It's a new environment, new coaches, new training partners, but a lot of opportunity to work. What has been different for you during this training camp?
这次备战在美国有什么不一样的地方？
没有什么不一样，都是完全一样，就是有更多的伙伴在一起训练，这样会更好。
Yeah,
对，不同对手训练，打击风格也不一样。
the training camp has been not much different as before, but this time there are a lot of training partners with different styles. So for me, I trained with like so many different style fighters. Yeah, and that was the different part.
The different style of fighters at Sanford, which one is more fun to spar with?
那这么多风格有趣风格的人，谁是你最就是打实战觉得有趣的？
这边有一个有一个高个，他的风格我觉得挺怪异的，而且最主要他这个胳膊也长，腿也长，对，优势非常好。
And there's a tall guy here, and I think his style is pretty weird. He has long reach and tall legs, and he's relaxed.
他在享受这种
And
打击的这种过程。
I can see he's enjoying the striking.
Okay. Is he a heavyweight? Tall Steve? Is that his name?
大概是谁你知道
他名字我想不起来。
吗？I don't remember his name.
All right. There's a lot of tall guys there. Like of course there's like Gilbert Burns and Shavkat Ramanov. Who has he worked closely with? Like who has benefited him the most working with them?
就是这尔波斯、沙卡特，这就是你从哪个运动员当中受益最多？
哪个运动员怎么说呢？这边每个运动员都有他们自己的那叫打法，对，最重要的是根据你的这个对手来说，你打法不一样，对吧？恩斯地面摔弱也很好，但他现在的风格都是将你打击，你说他是打击系的吗？也不是，这是综合格斗，沙夫卡特战力也不错，但他这次用的是地面，摔柔引导对手，对吧？知彼知己才能百战百胜，我觉得这就是看自己用的，在比赛中用好就是战术，这是最重要的。
就是你从谁那受益最多？
没有个人实力这种。
Yeah, I didn't personally learn from like the most from anyone. And cause Gilbert Burns right now, like he's a grappler, but now he's doing striking. And Shafkat, he's supposed to be very good striking, but now he's doing more grappling. So it all change according to your opponent, and you have to know your opponent before you defeat him. So that your style always change.
All right, Muslim, his only losses are submissions. Do you see yourself possibly getting a submission, or is it a stand-up battle that's most likely going to happen in this fight?
铃木输的比赛都是被锁的，那你认为你有机会锁他吗？还是会站立 ？Yes, there's a chance.
我觉得这次我们可以在地面上可以看一下。
Yeah, I think this time we can find out like on the ground.
All right, sounds good. I just want to ask a couple more questions. The first one is about Road to UFC. It's an opportunity for a lot of young, talented Asian fighters, Chinese fighters, Korean fighters. What are your overall thoughts on that format, the tournament?
之前那个英雄之路，你对此有啥评价？
英雄之路
就是选秀那个，
我觉得非常好，这样会让更多的亚洲选手进入 UFC， 给 UFC 给他们的很多的机会。我觉得这个特别棒，希望 UFC 可以多搞这样。
Yeah, I love it. It's really good because it gives the young fighters, these young Asian fighters, the opportunity to be shown to the world and go into UFC. And I think UFC should have more of this in the future.
What about tournaments? Do you feel like the UFC should have tournaments, like even in the UFC, not just the Road to UFC?
它这个赛制不晋级制的吗？你觉得那 UFC 会不会将来有这个赛制？是 UFC 签约的选手以后会不会有这个晋级的这个赛制？
就像我们现在就相当于晋级的赛制啊，这样一慢慢往上才能拿到排名，才能拿到冠军，道理是一样的。
Yeah, Lee thinks right now they have the tournament. You have to go up until you go to the champion. Like it's the same principle.
对，只是他首先你要有一个入场券，你才能进来，你才有这个资格进打 UFC， 你再一步一步再往上排名打。
Yeah, you just need a ticket to go into UFC, but like once you're entered, I feel like it's the same.
Jorge Masvidal, his name and your name has been linked recently, and he allegedly attacked Colby Covington outside of a restaurant. What is your take on that whole situation of a fighter attacking another fighter outside of the octagon?
他不是在餐厅把那个口鼻吸了吗？那你作为一个选手，你认为一个选手这种行为你的评价？
我觉得这种行为，我觉得不应该。他有脾气，可以在2番战啊、3番战啊，他们可以再打一下嘛，对吧？没必要在外面跟人家再打。
I think it's not necessary, and they can go to like a second fight
我不知道他怎么
or
想
like in sort of any sort of competition instead of deal with it outside of the octagon.
Do you think that type of situation makes the sport look bad?
你认为这种现象会让这个运动看起来不好吗？
当然不好。
Yeah, of course.
All right. Was it big news in China? Those types of incidences?
这是在中国来说是很大的新闻吗？
没有很大。
No, it wasn't that big.
All right. Now the title fight in his division at UFC 279, Kamaru Usman, he's going to defend the belt against Leon Edwards. Edwards lost the first fight. What do you think he needs to do to defeat Usman to win that belt?
你认为就是爱德华兹跟乌斯曼2番战，爱德华兹需要做什么才能打败乌斯曼？
我觉得还是做一些地面上的一些技术。
Yeah, more groundworks for Edwards.
Who do you think wins the fight, though?
那你认为谁会赢
我觉得还是Usman.
？Still Usman.
And one last question: any updates on the farm back at home? You know, is it in the works? What's going on?
就是你老家的那个农场，啥新的动态？
我老家农场非常好，现在一切都正常。
Yeah,
风调雨顺。
everything normal. The wind is good. The raining is good.
谢谢，还想你。
All right. All right.
Thanks for thinking of my farm.
Of course, you know, Victory. What is it? Victory horse. Yeah, I know he likes the horse meat. Does he?
吃了 yes， 马牛羊都行。
Yeah, he likes horse and cows and sheep.
Yeah, delicious stuff. Anyways, July 16th, UFC Long Island. Thank you so much for the time, and Ren, appreciate you coming through and translating.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.